got the sleek LED matrix headlights and they're inspired by the Ford GT. The ST-Line has 18-inch alloy wheels, but the ST has 19, which is even bigger. To open the boot, all I need to do is this. How amazing is that? Is it a design? No, it's not. That entire thing is a speaker. Ford has created an engine that is eager, punchy and smooth, especially with the mild hybrid system that fills in that turbo lag. So if you want something that looks sporty, drives brilliantly and still fits into your everyday life, the Ford Puma ST-Line is perfect for all of those things. No wonder it's Britain's best-selling car. Hello and welcome back to the Vertu YouTube channel. Today I'm talking you through the new Ford Big Cat, aka the Ford Puma, and it's had a facelift. This version is specifically the ST-Line and it demonstrates Britain's best-selling car go from a hatchback to a small SUV. I'll be talking through all the essential bits from the boot, from what it's like to drive and many more. So stay tuned and let's dive in. Starting at the front of the car, you can already tell it's got a more sleek, aggressive and sporty aesthetic. You've got the gloss black honeycomb grille, you've got the sleek LED matrix headlights and they're inspired by the Ford GT, a very nice supercar. You also have the aggressive looking lower bumper, and if we move to the top, the bonnet has a more raised stance, giving it that more muscular look to really complement the front of this car. In the 2025 plate Puma ST-Line, it has a mild hybrid system which captures energy when you slow down or lift off the accelerator, storing it in a 48-volt battery. This energy then gives the engine a bit of extra boost, providing more low-end torque, allowing for smoother and quicker pullaways. But it doesn't stop there. The mild hybrid system allows for lower emissions and reduces fuel consumption, better for everyday driving. And if you wanted even lower emissions, you can opt in for the fully electric Puma, the Ford Gen E, also available on the Vertu websites. Moving to the side of the car, we've got the ST-Line badge here, and compared to the titanium model, you also have painted wheel arches. The ST-Line has 18-inch alloy wheels, but the ST has 19, which is even bigger. Another sporty flair of this Ford Puma is the tinted rear windows, which allows for a cooler cabin on a hot day. And as we move to the rear, the best angle of this car, you'll notice a few changes. You've got the high set tail lights, the integrated roof spoiler, and if we look at the badges, compared to the old blue and chrome badge, you now have blue and white for the Ford badge. The Puma is in black lettering compared to the Gen E model, which is in white. But the best part about this is, I must say, on a cold day like today, where I don't want to take my hands out of my pocket, to open the boot, all I need to do is this. How amazing is that? As you can tell, on the Puma ST-Line X, it has an electric tailgate, which is amazing, like I said, especially with the feature of the leg underneath the car. And if we look at the boot, it's standard, it's 456 litres of boot space, it's flat, really good for your luggage, which we'll test later, don't you worry. But the best bit about this car is the mega box, which I'm currently sat on, so I will show you this now. Now, the best bit, like I said, about this boot space is the mega box. It gives you an additional 80 litres of boot space, and it gets even better because it is plastic lined, which means you can hose it down after putting all your muddy equipment and boots in there. You wouldn't think it's a country car, but my God, is it practical for it. It also has a drain plug, meaning you can hose it out after you've done using it. You could even make it into a makeshift cooler. How cool is that? Now we are going to do our suitcase test, which I know you've all been waiting for. I'm going to lower our boot shelf down to the bottom setting, and we're going to put our big suitcase in first. Oh, there we go. Middle case. And our small one to finish. Look at that, fits perfectly. And because of the 3 different settings of the boot floor, I can put my small case easily under into our mega box and then put the rest of our cases nicely on top. And there you go. As you can see, I've folded the seats down and it gives you roughly a whopping 1,200 litres worth of boot space. It is a 40-60 split, which is great because you can either fold them down independently or together depending on what you want to carry. Stepping inside, you can immediately tell the sporty theme and flair continues from the flat bottom steering wheel to the red contrast stitching that goes across the car, from the steering wheel, the gear stick, the seats and the dash. The seats alone are something to rave about because they are extremely comfortable. You've got half leather, half Alcantara. In the driver's seat, you've got lumbar support, essential for those longer journeys. It does feel more driver focused than other small SUVs on the market. As you know, I'm not 6'5" with really long arms, which is why this car is very, very good for smaller people, because there is really good rake and reach on the steering wheel, making it very, very comfortable to drive without me hunching over the steering wheel to grab it. Now let's talk tech, which you know is my favourite part. We've got the 12-inch touchscreen, which includes the Ford Sync 3 infotainment system. It's got all your essentials like your Apple CarPlay, your Android Auto, and, which I think is very, very cool, has voice commandments. You've got your Ford Assistant and you've even got Alexa. Now you must be thinking, Phoebe, what is this feature on top of the dash? Is it a design? No, it's not. That entire thing is a speaker, specifically a B&O speaker. It honestly makes you feel like you're having a concert in the car every time you play music. I also want to note the very well thought out storage space in this car. You've got your classic door bins and your very nicely placed cup holders. You've also got a nice little compartment here for your key, and if we look in the central console, you've also got a bit that pulls out that gives you some extra space, which I thought was very nicely thought out. I've also noticed that I've got my wireless charging, very, very helpful, because you never know what cable is going to be in the car, but this car does offer both the USB and the USB-C. I've also got a digital driver dash, which is really, really good, especially when I'm changing driving modes. I've got 4 options, and just with a click of a button, I can change through them. For example, if I want sport, it glows a lovely red, or if I want eco, it glows a lovely green. I also have a slippery setting for those harsher weather conditions, and I've got my plain normal for your casual everyday driving. For a more affordable car, the Ford Puma still has very, very detailed and premium tech. For example, when I turn the car off, check rear seats for occupants, just in case I may have forgotten anyone in my car. As you can see, we've got a toddler seat in the back here, and they've got plenty of room. You'll also have plenty of room for a baby seat because you have ISOFIX points in here as well. The front seats are made of leather and they still have that lovely red stitching, but it means they're easy to clean, and you know kids are going to get it messy. The comfort continues when you sit in the back, as we still have these lovely half leather, half Alcantara seats with the contrast red stitching, still extending that very, very lovely sporty look. We also have USB-C charging points, plenty of storage on the back of the front seats, and great space in the storage bins too. Under the bonnet, there's a 1 litre 3-cylinder turbocharged EcoBoost petrol engine paired with a mild hybrid system. Even though 1 litre doesn't sound like much, Ford has created an engine that is eager, punchy and smooth, especially with the mild hybrid system that fills in that turbo lag. What I'm noticing as I'm driving it is that it actually turns more like a Fiesta than a small SUV, and that's because the ST-Line has a firmer suspension and lower ride height. You can actually enjoy the more twisty-turny B roads in this thing. I'm also going to go through the drive modes and see if I can see the difference and feel the difference within the car. So I'm on normal at the moment. I'm just going to twist to eco, which actually utilises that mild hybrid system more so. And as I'm not accelerating or slowing down or braking, it actually uses that energy to go back into the 48-volt battery. I'm actually going to read the driving modes out to you because they even come with an information packet explaining what mode is suitable for what weather conditions. For example, if I go on to slippery mode, it's for less than ideal driving conditions such as snow-covered roads or ice-covered roads. This mode reduces acceleration response and optimises vehicle stability settings for slick and wet surfaces, which is absolutely ideal for those trickier circumstances. But when I click onto sport, it is for more spirited and engaged driving. Oh, how fancy. Enhances vehicle acceleration, performance and driving dynamics. And I actually felt the steering wheel did get heavier compared to the eco and the other modes, which I thought was a nice touch to add to the sporty flair of the car and the driving mode. As I mentioned before, this car does have some very detailed and premium tech for its lower price range. For example, we've got a driving assistance button, and in there is plenty of options to choose to help you drive safely and comfortably. For example, you've got traction control, speed limit assist, lane keeping assistant, pre-collision assist, rear view camera display, which actually lines you up when you're reversing, which is also very helpful for those who can't park. So if you want something that looks sporty, drives brilliantly and still fits into your everyday life, the Ford Puma ST-Line is perfect for all of those things. No wonder it's Britain's best-selling car. So if you want to grab one of these, head to the Vertu website, one of our dealerships, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.